guy holding the umbrella for the white man. Look at that. Look at that.
Braden said your skin looks like shit.
Braden
said your skin looks like shit.
For the white man. Get underneath. Hold his umbrella. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
They're going to disturb the conversation.
Just stand behind the camera and I'll answer.
They're going to disturb the conversation, man.
Okay.
Yo,
shut up, Raj. Tommy Robinson ain't over
I
there.
want to know what makes you on the higher morality if you're an atheist, yeah, and you don't know laws or anything, yeah, you create your law by the weather, yeah, why do you stand on high morality?
Okay, so I'd answer you in this way. Did anyone need to tell you, did a book need to tell you that murder is wrong? Or did you not know until you read the Quran?
You know, facts. This is
I didn't know till I read the Quran.
You didn't know that?
No, because there's people who are not Muslim and they're killing people, so it seems like in their faith it's okay. So when I read the Quran, it told me things like that not are tolerated.
Are you
so yeah, I'm agreeing to what you said. It didn't teach me. The life taught me that agnostic people and people who are not Muslim, yeah, have been killing people since history, right? So you're asking me a question about Islam, and I've given you my answer. So can we move on, or can you respond to that?
No, but you, I just want to check.
Yeah,
You're
I'm just giving you my answer.
But I'm not sure if I heard you correctly.
Right, let me say it again.
You're saying you didn't know that murder was wrong until you read the Quran.
Yeah.
Okay, that's unusual. Most people.
Why is it unusual?
Because most people know that murder is wrong.
You've tried to bring an unnecessary question into it.
No,
it's an unnecessary question. You're like, oh, did Islam tell you killing is wrong? What's that got to do with the topic?
Because it shows.
He's asking you about the claims you made and the statements you made. He's asking you about the claims and statements you made about Islam. All right. So we're talking about that. We're not talking about if Islam or Christianity or agnostic people told me killing someone is wrong. So I'm talking about the claims you made and the statements you make about Islam. And the brother there said to you, what gives you the moral high ground to make statements on other religions, going as that you don't believe in one?
Because people can use their intellect to reason about what's right and wrong. And so even if a book says, for example, that we should wage war until people accept Islam,
who said that?
That's in Islamic
so you've
law.
Seen nothing
that's
in the, so you've seen nothing in the Quran that tells you to let people who don't believe in Islam to live alongside you.
So
are you making that claim? Are you making that claim?
There's different messages in the Quran.
I'm asking you. Okay, can you respond to what I'm asking you?
I'm answering you.
All right. So
yes, it says that, but it also says later on in chapter 9 to wage war
on those who are oppressing them.
No,
so those who are at war with them.
No, not just that.
So where does it say? Does it just say in the middle of nowhere? Okay, oh yeah. By the way, go and kill non-Muslims. Can you show me where it says that?
Yeah.
What is this?
This is a book of Islamic law.
Man brought out this book. Can you show the book to my camera, please? This is the book he brought out. The mercy in the difference. Okay, I'm asking you to show me something from the Quran, so I'm not going to accept this.
This will quote the Quran.
I'm not accepting this.
This will quote the Quran.
All right, can you show me where in the Quran it says to randomly go and kill this guy because he's not Muslim, or kill this guy because he's not Muslim? Can you show me that? Can you show me that, please?
It also says not to kill people.
Can you show me that? Because you with your own mouth have said it tells you not to kill non-Muslims. So please show me where it says to randomly go and kill people. And if you can come back once you got that ready, then we can carry on. Big up to everyone in the park. Come on.
What if he brings authentic?
No, but I know in the Quran where it talks about war, it's talking about people attacking you. So if someone's attacking you, and am I meant to tell you, yo, don't hit him back? Just let him kill you, bro. Come on, bro.
Why would you just say it's nonsense?
Because I don't know what that book is. I know what the Quran is. I don't know what that book is, Kazi. Do you understand?
It's from Cambridge University.
It's not from Cambridge University.
I thought we were going to the book.
It's from Dar al-Taqwa.
Are we going to Google now?
We're going to the Quran. So in chapter 9, verse 29, it says, "Fight those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth from those who are given the scripture. Fight until they give the jizya willingly while they are humbled."
Alright, big up for quoting the Quran, yeah?
And let me
what I want
show
to say to you is, before you go to the next point, please.
No, this is the same point.
Alright then, can you show me where you just read out, where it mentions to randomly kill someone or attack them?
It says to fight people on the basis
when
of
though?
their...
What context?
On the basis
you gotta
of
give
their,
the context.
It's always people who...
You gotta give me the context.
Are
you telling me? Are you telling me what you just quoted from the Quran is telling you to randomly go up to non-Muslims and oppress them?
No, it's saying like when there's an Islamic state, that the Caliph, the ruler of the Islamic state, should wage war against non-Muslim states near them.
Can you show me where it says that?
This is
because I'm
okay,
sure
this is
you
what your
you
scholars
also
say.
quoted
This is
the
what your
Quran
scholars
says
say.
the Quran also what you quoted was
what your
something called
scholars say.
jizya. Jizya is for the non-Muslims. It's for the non-Muslims that live with them,
Okay.
and when they live with them, it's a tax. When we live in here, we pay tax for the police. The police protect us. That's jizya. That's jizya.
Okay,
That's
but-
jizya.
but you
If you
can't
can pay
eat
tax
people.
for the police, if you can pay tax for the police,
You
brother.
want me to
Brother,
answer
brother,
you?
brother.
Listen, you can pay taxes, but if you're not an equal citizen of the state, that's oppressive. Islamic law says that non-Muslims, i.e. dhimmis, are lower citizens. They have lower legal rights. And let me give you an example of lower legal rights.
What has the Prime Minister said about Muslim women?
That they have exactly the same legal rights as any non-Muslim
He didn't call them
citizen.
letterboxes.
Yes.
He didn't disrespect Muslim
and
women.
Muslim law
so
says
it looks
much
like he's
worse.
oppressing Islam, right?
No, it doesn't, because
Check
you
the
have the exact same
Jerusalem
rights as me.
Post, man.
Whereas if
Jerusalem
I was
Post.
living in the Islamic State as a
Go to the
dhimmi,
age
I'd
of
have
Jerusalem
lower legal rights
under
than
an
you.
Islamic State in
No, you
Yes.
wouldn't. No, you
Yes.
wouldn't.
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes.
You wouldn't. You wouldn't. We pay the
They pay jizya
jizya.
and they become rich. They get more
You pay the
What?
jizya.
Okay, let me
We
show
pay
you.
jizya
Let me show you.
because we pay.
For example, you can.
We pay tax here for the police.
Okay.
We pay tax
Okay.
for the ambulance. We pay tax for the
Here's
hospital.
another
They're
example.
protecting
Here's
us.
an example.
You're fine paying tax, but when the word is used as an Arabic word, jizya, it means tax. You want to jump hoo-ha about it. You know, it's basically
Yeah,
for
but-
non-believers to
but-
pay.
okay,
Yeah, but then you don't have to pay zakat. You don't have to pay what we have to pay.
So that's okay.
You don't have to pay what we have to pay.
Yeah, but the
Do you understand? As a Muslim, you pay
It's the lower
zakat.
legal
If you're non-Muslim, you pay jizya. But okay, so you're telling me we shouldn't pay tax because we don't believe this country's meant to be a Christian country, right? So we shouldn't pay tax. Is that what you're saying? But what I'm asking you is, if a government or authority has put down a tax to pay, and you're gonna happily live in that country, it's only right to pay that tax, right?
That's not by religion, though.
What do you mean by it's not by religion? So when the man made law in this country first, where did them laws come from? An agnostic made them. No, it's a good point you made.
Okay, so here's an example.
It's a good point because what are them laws based on? They're not based on
How,
Islam. They're not based on agnostic.
non-Muslims have lower legal rights. Here's an example of how non-Muslims have lower legal rights than
Allow it, man.
Muslims
You're
in
not
the
addressing
Islamic
the question.
State.
You're not addressing the
Building
question that I
churches
asked.
and synagogues.
You're not
They
addressing the
agree.
question that I asked. I
I'm
asked
showing.
you
No, I'm
to
showing
show
you
me-
how non-Muslims have
Can you
lower
show-
legal rights
okay.
than Muslims in
I didn't
Islamic
ask
states.
that. I didn't ask that.
Oh, so you don't want to hear it? Fine, I'll read it out anyway.
I asked you.
They
Here we
agree
go, going off
that
point
it is
as
not
always.
permitted to
Fucking
build a
hell,
new
bro.
church or synagogue in the cities in Dar al-Islam.
All right, well
okay?
done.
And
Excellent.
so, imagine
Excellent.
if you, as a Muslim, the British government said tomorrow, it is forbidden for any Muslim to build a new mosque. Would
Yeah.
you would have lower legal rights?
I don't think we'll be
You'd have
building
lower
mosques.
legal rights.
I don't think we'll build mosques.
Huh? You'd
I don't
be
think
fine
we'll
with
build
that.
mosques.
You'd be
Yeah,
fine
because
with that.
our religion tells us to abide by the government
So you wouldn't-
that
you
we
wouldn't-
live in.
so you don't-
if your government
okay,
says,
so
yo,
if the
you can't have no
government-
mosque here,
okay,
obviously
fine.
some Muslims will move
Okay,
out,
perfect.
innit?
Let me test that
So what
principle.
did your point prove?
You just
What did
said.
your point prove?
You just said.
Our Quran
you just
tells
said
us
that
to
if
abide by the laws.
Okay, would you abide by a law that said?
If it was the law that I came, country I came into, yeah.
So okay,
yeah, I
listen,
would,
listen,
because
listen.
it's the country that I'm
Okay.
in. So what point have you proved?
Hey, what's the name of that black woman who went to the front of the bus?
What's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Would you say that as a Muslim, from an Islamic point of view, that Rosa Parks did the wrong thing
What did Rosa
by
Parks do?
obeying the law that said that black people should sit at the back of the bus when she decided to sit at the front of the bus?
That's
Is that what you're
disgusting.
saying?
That's disgusting.
Okay, so unequal laws are disgusting.
Well,
like in Islam.
I can't.
Thank you.
Listen. I can't quote on your lifestyle. I can quote as a Muslim that if
No,
your country,
talk about
hold
the
on,
principles.
hold
Talk about
on.
the logical
If your country told me as a Muslim you can't build mosque here, my Quran tells me I have to abide by your laws because I'm in
Then that's
foreign
the same
land.
thing.
Hold on, let me
That's
finish.
the same thing.
Let
Imagine
me finish.
what if the
Let me- alright,
what if the same government said that non-Muslim or rather Muslims need to sit at the back of the bus? Then what?
Well, if we was abiding by this country's law, obviously it's not right. It's not
Yeah,
right.
yeah, so it's not right.
It's
Thank
not
you.
right, so-
And so therefore, the same laws that say that non-Muslims in the Islamic State are not allowed to build new churches and synagogues is also not right, because it's saying that non-Muslims do not have the same legal rights as Muslims.
All right, on that stance, hold on. On that stance, like you said to me, if the law now said that we can't build mosques here now, Muslims are most likely they might be upset about, but we
Yeah,
have to
because
abide.
that's
Hold
unjust.
on. We'll have to abide by your law because our Quran says if we're living in foreign land, we have to abide by your law. So now if your law says for us not to build mosques, and Muslims know that already, I don't think a Muslim will come here to build a mosque, because we'll go against our Quran.
But that's not the question. Is it just or not?
What's just?
Is it just to tell people of different religions that they don't have the same legal rights?
It depends what stance you look at. Are you looking at it from a religious stance?
Just right and wrong.
So it's not a religious stance. If it's not a religious stance, it's not wrong. It's wrong. If it's a religious stance,
So
I have to go back my Quran, innit?
Okay, so your religious scholars have said this.
My religious scholars have told me to let you preach what you want to preach and not wage war on you for no reason. You made a
sure
claim.
about that?
Yeah, you made a claim
In
that
the
we
Islamic-
told.
in the-
Hold
in the
on,
Islamic
man.
States,
You
could
told
I
me to let
preach?
me finish. This is why I heckle this guy, bro, because you don't let man finish
Okay,
either.
you started the heckling
All right,
first, by
so,
the
all right,
way.
let's stop the heckling.
Okay, fine.
Let's stop the heckling. You made a pretty big claim that Muslims are told to just wage war on non-Muslims. Yeah?
Okay.
I wanted you to prove me that claim.
Okay, so from the Quran, it says in several verses, like for example, chapter 9, verse 29, like I read out to you, to fight the people who have not been delivered the religion of Allah and do not keep the law of Allah
Alright, for those
until they pay the jizya in
For
humiliation.
those who are watching on all these channels and my channel as well, can you explain in context, is that telling people to randomly go up to James Speaker's corner and attack him because he's not Muslim?
It's not saying that in any country you're in to attack.
All right, so
any
let's say you're in
non-Muslim.
Saudi Arabia, in Medina or
it's
whatever,
saying-
or Mecca, and our religion is telling me to just attack you.
No.
Thank you.
So,
That's all I wanted to ask.
No,
That's fine. That's fine.
No,
We'll move
but
to another point.
There's more. Okay, but there's more to it though.
How's there more to
What-
it?
what it- what-
It's
what
either
this- what
yes
this
or
is-
no. How can there be
because
more to
that's
it?
not the right question though.
It is the right
you should
question.
be
Are you
asked-
telling me
the
my
question
religion
you
told
should-
me to attack you? That's
No,
my question
but
to you.
That
That
it's
is my
saying,
question
It's
to
saying
you.
something else though.
What's it saying?
It's saying
If
that
you wage
the
war on us, to
Islamic,
fight
it's
back.
saying that the Islamic State.
If you slap me, I'm going to slap you back.
But it's not just about
If you-
defending
if you
yourself.
insult me, I'm gonna insult
it's
you
not
back.
it's not just about defending yourself. It's saying that the Islamic State should wage war against the non-Islamic nations near to it until they either embrace Islam or pay the jizya tax.
Can you show me where it says that?
Yeah.
So he's made a big claim that Islam teaches us to go to the further lands, to the outside lands that are not Muslim land and wage war on them. So let's see it. I'm getting a phone call, guys. Give me 1 minute. I'm getting a phone call.
Fair enough.
You come back.
Yeah, I will, man. Don't watch.
Don't run away.
So what am I looking for here?
Evidence, James. Smart, man. He's done a runner.
I'm sure he'll be back. And then secondly, was it
What's going on here, guys?
What's going on, fam? What, you coming on camera today?
No, your camera.
Coming
No,
on camera?
no,
Come
your
on my
camera.
camera,
No,
man.
your camera.
No, is it your camera?
No,
Why
your
not?
camera. Because you're a sellout, bro.
Why is that, bro? Explain to me why
Because
I'm a sellout. Right, cool.
you love the white people.
Cool. Explain to me why I'm a sellout.
Because you love white people too
camera.
much than your own people, then you're gonna sell
I do
out.
love my own people
No, you're
as
gonna.
well.
Well, listen,
He said debate, man. Debate him on it. You see what I'm
I can
saying?
debate him on that. I'll use the scripture to debate him now. That should not be a sellout.
Alright, cool. Explain to me why I'm a sellout. Come here.
You love white people more than your own people. Yeah. Every crime white people commit. Wait, 1 second. Every crime white people commit, you try to justify that, but this is 2019. 2019. But white people are still stealing, they still killing, they still robbing, they still genociding and bombing nation. That's not. Wait, they bomb hospital in Afghanistan. What are you gonna say about that? Wait, women are giving birth to babies. Bro,
Yeah,
so
what's up?
bad.
Let's my stream back
Talk
up.
about all of that in a minute. All of that.
Thou shalt not be a sellout.
Not what you believe, what you mean in the sellout.
Make sure when you come to me, all your parts is all alright, because you're gonna be straight
Ready.
up, man.
Ready.
Right?
Anyway, I don't need to go on, man.
Strong
But yeah,
with
can
all
you
your
prove your
handles.
claim? Like,
Okay,
Suck like a
so
bread in the water.
it is reported on the authority of
Finish.
Abu Hurairah
I
that the
finish.
Messenger
So
of
I
Allah
don't
said,
finish.
I have been commanded to fight against people so long as they do not...
Can you just repeat that?
Okay. It is reported on the authority of Abu Huraira that the Messenger of Allah said, I have been commanded to fight against people so long as they do not declare that there is no God but Allah, and he who professed it was guaranteed the protection of his property and life in behalf, except for the right affairs rest of Allah.
Alright, can you also now, because you have so many Islamic hadiths, can you show me a hadith what our Prophet ﷺ told us to do with non-Muslims in a normal day? Not in war, because what you're talking about is when Islam is under war, he's going to wage war back. So can you show me...
What's your evidence for that?
What evidence for what?
What's your evidence?
All the evidence that you know of, where it quotes that we should let non-Muslims live alongside us. All of them statements. And you know every single one. You know every single verse.
As you can live alongside.
Yeah.
Okay, but what about the Islamic State?
What about the Islamic State?
When there's a non-Muslim nation near to it.
Yeah, and they're waging war on you, you're going to fight back.
And what if they aren't waging war on you?
Then we're not going to do nothing.
Jihad then?
There's no jihad then.
Okay, even though it's just said here, I have been commanded to fight against people so long as they do not...
Okay, so can you tell me the context of that statement?
Listen.
You're saying, okay, he's going to wage war. When?
Yeah,
but when?
That there is no God but Allah.
When?
It's saying.
Yeah, but when?
Any time that they do not
so
declare...
So you're saying that the Quran is contradicting itself?
Yeah, the Quran does not contradict itself.
How?
Many times. Like, for example, it says...
But you've contradicted yourself, because earlier on, you just admitted that it doesn't say to wage war on someone for no reason. So which one is right? Which statement you made is correct?
That's a good question. The Quran does contradict itself, so it's hard to know...
I'm asking you about your statement, man. You said that you agree...
Okay, what I said was...
Do you know what I'm saying, man? I understand what he's doing. What are you trying to say?
I'm going to answer your question. Yeah. Let me... Okay, what I said earlier was that Muslims are not commanded individually to fight non-Muslims near to them. However, these are commands for the Islamic State and how they... So that's the difference. I'm not contradicting myself. I'm talking about two different situations.
So you're saying that this statement is telling Muslims to go to another country and just wage war on them because they don't accept Islam?
Yeah, in the Islamic State,
Can you prove your statement?
Okay, sure.
Prove it, man. You can't just make big claims like that.
I want to show you that this is how Islamic scholars throughout history have interpreted it. This is from the distinguished jurist primer, Bidayat al-Mujtahid.
All the sheikhs and imams I speak to tell us not to wage war on people for no reason.
What about the classical scholars?
Well, back then when war is waged on Islam every single day, they were still talking about every single day when war is being waged on them. So you can't bring in something from back then, because right now in this country, no one is waging war on Islam right now by you or him. Maybe they have bigger things, but no one is waging war on us for us to be like, you know what, this guy, let me kill him or attack him or tell him to be Muslim, I'm going to kill him. Nothing in our Quran or Hadith is telling us to do that. So if you think different, you need to prove it, not me.
Okay.
Alright,
so first of all, I've already shown you a hadith where Muhammad explicitly says to fight people until they... Well, you bring the context.
The context of it is in war.
Where's your proof of that?
Yeah, I'll bring it because I don't have it on me, innit? I didn't come here for this conversation, to be honest.
Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. But, okay, and now let me explain why this classical book of Islamic law answers your point that this is not simply talking about only when the Muslims are being fought against, because this talks about two different scenarios. First of all, if non-Muslims are attacking the Islamic State, then of course you have to defend yourself, and it talks about that case. But it also talks about the case even when the non-Muslims are not attacking the Islamic State.
Can you show it to me from a Quran, please? Can you show me these statements or these claims you're making from a Quran?
I read out the Quran. I read out what the Quran said.
But you didn't explain the context of it, man.
Well, what's your proof that the context
because Islam and all the Muslims in the UK are shouting out, bruv, we're not told to wage war on non-Muslims for no reason. So what are you talking about?
So do you decide what Islam is, or do the Islamic sources
decide? The Islamic sources do it. Yes. The Quran tells us not to wage war on you unless you're waging war on us.
No, but it says here, fight those who do not believe in Allah or in
rules
the last
of engagement
day, and who do not...
The rules of engagement, if you're trying to kill me and kill my religion, I can fight back.
Listen, one thing I've got to say to you, one question that's quite important. So in another country, Muslims will be in oppressed.
100%.
Could you see that as rules for engagement?
Well, I would ask you the same question back, that if you was being attacked by someone for no reason, would you not fight back?
answering your question.
I would fight back. Yeah, I would fight back.
Do you see that as rules for engagement then? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you're in a different country where there's no war being fought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go to another, but there are Muslims being oppressed, as you say, in other countries.
Yeah. So if they were being oppressed for being Muslim, yeah, it's a reason to fight back. It's a reason to fight back. No. Why would we come to? Why would someone in Turkey being oppressed? Yeah, and we don't agree with that, brother. It's a good thing you pointed that out because us Muslims don't agree with these idiot. Like people say, why don't you call them Muslim? They claim to be Muslim, but they're not acting out as a Muslim. They're not doing that. I've just explained to you the rules of or whatever, and I'm not a scholar, but it's pretty common sense, innit? Like if someone's not waging war on you, why are you gonna just wait? Do you understand? Why are you gonna just suppress them for no reason? So like I would ask the same question back. That if someone was individually attacking you, no matter if you're in London or America or Turkey or Saudi, if you're being attacked, you're obviously gonna fight back.
Right, when you see Muslims being hurt across the world, around the world, does it hurt you?
It hurts me that non-Muslims are being hurt as well.
No, I'm just asking you.
Yeah, it does. It does. As a human being, it hurts me. Yeah.
Do you see it as like you're Muslim, like because people from this country will go sometimes and go and pick up arms to go and help their Muslim brothers?
Where though? In another country?
Afghanistan, Syria.
So now a question you're asking is a bit confusing. Are you saying that should they go and defend other countries, or are they? What are you trying to ask me?
Is that rules for? They interpret it as rules for engagement. Hence why terrorist attacks happen over here. If something happens over another part in the world, there's a terrorist attack over here. That person is interpreting.
Yeah, but
that.
Don't you think you should point at the actual thing that started the reaction? But what you're saying is, in reaction, would a Muslim go back and fight?
So rules for engagement. That's it.
Well, if I was living here and there's no war, and there's no war here, it doesn't tell me anything to do that.
Thank you for answering.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't tell me to do.
I'm not on you.
Yeah. No.
Clarification.
Yeah, can you give us a?
Yeah. So here's some more evidence. It has been reported from Suleiman bin Buraidah through his father that when the Messenger of Allah appointed anyone as leader of an army or detachment, he would explicitly exhort them to fear Allah and to be good to the Muslims who were with them. He would say, fight in the name of Allah and in the way of Allah, fight against those who disbelieve in Allah, make a holy war, do not embezzle the spoils, do not break your pledge, and do not mutilate the dead bodies, do not kill the children. When you meet your enemies, the polytheists, invite them.
The what?
When you meet the enemies.
The enemies. So when you have an enemy, it's obviously some sort of friction going on, because if you're not doing nothing to me, you can't be my enemy. So it's talking about having an enemy, right? Okay, so let's carry on.
To be honest,
let's carry on. There's no way you can't just say. Oh yeah, by the way, everyone is your enemy. It's bullshit. You're misrepresenting.
You know, there's an Islamic argument that all polytheists are the allies of Satan.
Misrepresenting it.
You realise that?
You're misrepresenting it.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, this is
what the word
Muslims
enemy is used.
This is what Muslims have believed for thousands of years.
The word enemy.
It believes that.
The word enemy is used. Why would you use the word enemy when you don't have someone against you? Can you answer that? Would you use the word enemy if you didn't have someone against you?
Not me, but in Islam, there is reasoning to say that polytheists are the allies of Satan because they commit shirk, and that makes them enemies. So this is something that you can find in many Islamic books, that the polytheists are the allies of Satan.
In our Quran, it tells us to let someone have their beliefs and tell them about Islam and not oppress them. It tells us that.
Okay, well...
So everything you've said, I've just beaten everything you said with one statement.
No, that just shows that the Quran and Muhammad is contradictory.
It shows that the Quran talks about war, and you guys are taking out the bits about war and making it an everyday thing. And you need to stop doing that. Because what you don't realise...
This is what your scholars have done to begin with.
What you don't realise, let me just make a statement.
This is what the entirety of Islamic history first did.
And then you
this
can
is what your Prophet first did. This is what your Prophet first did. He attacked people who never attacked him.
It's false narrative like that.
It's not a false narrative.
It's false narrative.
If you're going to say that it's a false narrative, you're going to have to say that most of Islamic history was totally misguided. Are you willing to say...
Are you going to let me say something?
After I'm finished, are you willing to say, according to what you've just said, that most of Islamic history, including the so-called rightly guided caliphs, were totally misguided and wrong?
Can you name me one Islamic state?
Yeah, the Rashidun Caliphate.
Where is that?
It was in Arabia.
Where is it now? Where is it?
It doesn't exist anymore.
So there isn't an Islamic state?
You asked me to name an Islamic state. I gave you one from history, the Rashidun Caliphate.
Let me rephrase my question so you don't try to work around it.
It's not that
Is there an Islamic state today?
Depends what you consider. Probably not, no.
Okay. So the claims you're making about an Islamic state waging war on anyone else, it can't happen, right?
Not right now, but in the future.
Okay, so it's not happening, is it?
Not right now, luckily.
Is it happening?
Is it even a valid question? Why is he asking a question? Is it valid?
Yeah, it's a valid question.
What do you mean?
They can regroup at any time.
Sorry?
So it's not really a valid question.
Who can regroup at any time?
ISIS can regroup.
Well,
at
like the
any
guys who
time.
attacked the mosque in New
They can
Zealand,
regroup
yeah, they
at
can
any
recruit.
time.
They can recruit. Them far
Who
right
is it
can
who
recruit.
actually forced
They
them
can
out?
recruit.
It
You're
was
right. That's a
Al-Qaeda.
very good statement. They can recruit.
About-
They can recruit. I'm not here talking about Al Qaeda or ISIS.
Yeah.
I'm not here
But-
talking about Al Qaeda or ISIS. Why are you bringing Al
Tahrir
Qaeda ISIS?
al-Sham
Why are you
got
bringing them
hit
in?
ISIS.
Why are you bringing them in?
Right?
I'm
And
talking
how
about
many
what we
ISIS
talking about.
jihadi lovers are in the London United Kingdom today?
Yeah, big up for that
23,000.
statement.
Kick
Ban
them
them,
too.
ban them, kick them all out.
I'm so sorry.
Kick them all out, you know what I mean? Kick them all out, all them
Kick
extremists.
them
Okay.
outside.
Don't matter if they're Muslim, Christian, white, black,
ISIS
Chinese.
jihadi.
If they're an oppressor, kick them out
Okay,
all day long.
But you know
Get
that Muslim
them.
scholars say that the Islamic State
No, if you're gonna
should
get
Alright,
them,
so let me go back. Let me
No,
go
no,
back to
but-
where I
no,
was.
but it's not irrelevant though.
And I
because-
go back to where I was.
No, because you asked me, there's no Islamic State today, and then you're
So what are you afraid of?
you're acting as though therefore it will never happen in the future. But the fact is that
There might be an Islamic State in the
ISIS
future.
only
Yes,
they
and
just
so
But it's not
then
going to
they'll-
wage war on you for no reason.
How do you know that?
Because it won't. Our Quran doesn't
No,
tell
but,
us
no,
that.
but your Islamic
You're reading
school-
hadith, bro. Bring it from the Quran.
I already wrote it from the Quran.
No, from the Quran. You read a
I already-
statement about
yeah,
war.
This is,
It was about war.
and it says to wage war.
No,
based
on
their
those
religious
waging war
beliefs.
on you.
No, it doesn't say that, does
So
it?
read it out and tell me where it says, go and start war on these people and do all of this stuff. Please explain to me where it says
Okay, I already
that. You
said
still
it,
can't
mate.
bring me the
Mate,
thing, man.
I've given you hadith.
show you the evidence already. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I have been commanded to fight against people so long as they do not declare that there is no God but Allah.
Can you explain the context of that? Is he talking about
You bring evidence.
Hold on.
If you're saying,
I'll
saying
bring the
that this
evidence.
is only,
I'll bring the evidence. I'll bring the evidence. I'll bring the evidence.
Okay.
I'll bring the evidence. But are you saying that that statement is for every day? It's saying, do you know what? Yeah,
I'm
wake up in
saying
the
it's-
morning,
oh, you're
read the
going
Quran,
around
and go and
circles.
wage war on non-Muslims.
for the Islamic State. Yes, that's what it says. That's offensive jihad. This is what the Rashidun Caliphate did. This is what the
You've read
rightly
the-
guided Caliph
you've
did.
read the
This
Quran
is what
wrong.
Muhammad himself did in his
It's not
life.
telling us to wage war on non-Muslims
Okay,
for no
listen,
reason.
listen,
It's not. It's
it
not.
is, it is. Have
Can
you
you
ever-
show me
have
where in
you
the
ever-
Quran it says it?
Well, I just read it out.
You read a statement about a time of war.
But how do you know that this?
Can you find out the context of your own?
Okay, let me ask a question.
You look at your reference.
Okay,
The correct context.
The
No,
correct
if-
context is at wartime. If someone's waging war on you, you wage war back. Don't
Why
be
does it not
oppressed.
say
Don't
that?
stand still.
Why does it
Fight
not
the
say
people
that?
against Allah.
it doesn't say that though.
Because you need to read. You can't read one little passage. Read the whole chapter, man. Read the whole chapter.
Okay, well, read the whole
Let's
chapter.
read the whole chapter.
Okay, listen.
Here you go.
Okay,
You're
fight
going to
those.
hand out lollipops for ISIS, lovely. Yeah, here's a lollipop.
Why do you want to give them a lollipop? Why do you want to give them a
Why are you
lollipop?
giving them such?
Did I say I stand for that? Did I say I stand for that?
This
I think
man-
you're in the wrong conversation. Go and find an ISIS or Al Qaeda guy. Yeah, go and find one of them. Go and find one of them because this is the wrong conversation. Dude, he's worrying about Islamic State and there isn't one. He's worrying about and there isn't one.
But there might be in
So
the
well done for that comment. Why are you worried about Islamic State?
You know that
Listen
you know
to
that
your
Hizb
friend.
Tahrir and the Muslim
Big up to
Brotherhood.
the sister,
You
man.
know that Hizb Tahrir and the Muslim Brotherhood both want Islamic State. Anyway, so
Kazi, can you bring something from the
what
Quran
verse
or
says.
not, man?
I just brought. Listen to the verse says
Yeah,
and
and
ask
read the
yourselves.
context, read the
ask
context.
yourselves. Does it say fight those who fight you?
Can you read the pages?
Okay, ask that question.
Can you read the verses from before
Fight
and after?
those who do not believe in Allah or in the last day, and who do not consider unlawful what Allah and His Messenger have made unlawful, and who do not adopt the religion of truth from those who are given the scripture. Fight until they give the jizya willingly while they are humbled. And based on this verse,
Alright, I just want to make it.
based on this,
It does sound crazy when you don't read all of it, bro.
No, but it's no
Do you know what I mean?
wonder.
If I told you about the war, the World War II, and I said to you, oh, these guys were saying, fight the enemy, fight the enemy. You're gonna be like, yeah, but why did the enemy come? What was the enemy there for? And why are we fighting? Ask them questions about the statement you just read. Read the paragraphs before, read the paragraphs after. You might get the answer there. You might get the answer there. It doesn't say to just randomly wake up, oh yeah, praise Allah and go and kill all the non-Muslims. It doesn't say
No,
that,
but
bro.
how do you
and
find
can I just
out?
make what?
Let's
I'll
ask
answer your
this.
question.
Okay.
It's
How do
statements
you find
and
out what the
false
context
narrative
is?
like this
How do you find out what
that
the context is?
causes attacks on mosques like New Zealand.
Okay, how do you find out what the context of a verse is?
Are you gonna let me speak?
But, yeah, I
Alright,
want you to
so
answer
let
that
me
question.
speak.
You're saying that this has a different context. How do you find out what the context of a verse
You're
is?
reading one paragraph in the middle of somewhere. So if I say, Joe, I went to the park and I got into a fight and this guy cussed my mum and he tried to stab me. Hold on.
Why it came down and the reason it came down.
The circumstances
very
of
good.
revelation,
Thank you.
right? Okay, so if
Don't
we,
turn that camera around, you know.
if we go to the circumstances of revelation and it says the same thing, then what are we going to do? If we go to the circumstances of revelation and it says the same thing,
can I just say what I was saying? If I came out my house and I'd written a book, I came out my house, I went to the park, someone tried to stab me, and I started attacking back. And then, if I carry on saying, yeah, I beat the shit out of this guy, I punched him up, and I told him he's a fucking pussy-o, and if you read that little bit of it, you don't understand the context of it. That's the point I'm making to you. You haven't understood the context of what you've read out. What you've read out is true.
Then
what you've read out, we wage war on people who are waging war on Islam.
But it
we
doesn't
do
say
that.
It says to
yeah, but
wage
you've
war
chosen that.
on
So why don't you
people
read
who
the
have a
whole?
particular
Why don't you read the
religion.
whole chapter?
It
Why don't you
says
read the
the
Quran and point me out a point in place in the Quran where it
I
says?
just read how to
Can
pray.
you point out a place in the Quran where it says to just unreasonably wage war on a non-Muslim?
Yeah, this is chapter 9. Chapter 9 says that.
Chapter 9 says to just randomly beat someone.
That's the overall
Well,
message.
you've got to understand it wrong,
That's the
man.
overall message.
I ain't a scholar. I'll bring a scholar. I'll bring a scholar or someone who can explain. He showed me the verse.
Why do you not accept scholars? I can show you
I'm
scholars.
explaining to you. I'm explaining to you the verse you've brought. That one verse is talking about when you are in war. I'm explaining to you it means about when you're in war, because nothing in the Quran.
Then why does it say to fight people based on their
Can I
religious
finish,
belief?
Man? Can I finish? Nothing in the Quran tells you to go into a fight or anything unless it's been brought upon you. And if you can show me, no, you just read out half a paragraph, bro. Read the whole chapter. Can you read the whole chapter? Let's read the whole chapter together.
Let's read the whole chapter.
Right from the start to the end. Let's sit here and read the whole chapter.
Allah would never condemn a man to go to war. So it's a man thing, right?
Come on.
A man thing.
Come on.
This is not God. He's telling
Okay.
Muhammad to go to war. This is
First of all, okay, whatever. Let's read it first.
Another claim.
But will you accept that in order to find out the context of a verse, we need to go into the
you Muslim?
hadith and the seerah and the history of the verse? In order to find out the context of a
verses
verse,
they use
we need to both
to
read the
incite
verse and we need to look at the history of the
And
verse.
to understand the context of the verse, you need to read the whole chapter.
Yeah, and also look at the history, right?
Do you think
The
people
circumstances
don't
of revelation, the
understand
Nasbab
everything?
al-Nuzul.
They want to read the whole chapter.
The Asbab al-Nuzul.
Well,
Anyway.
You're teaching a
So
child,
let's
you're
read
not gonna
the
get
chapter
child
up to that point.
understand the topic of war, you're just
What do you think about the topic in primary school? They're going to teach kids. That's another topic I want to talk about.
What does Salah, what does, okay.
A 16-year-old,
Come on the camera,
a
come on the camera.
16-year-old,
Wait a
what are you going to
second.
teach a
You can be
16-year-old?
behind the
Maybe off the
camera.
camera.
You can be behind the camera.
Come. Go off the camera. Just don't
You can be
record
behind the
innit?
camera.
Stand with
Stand
me,
behind the camera.
Because that's someone who can
Stand
bring
behind the
dalil,
camera.
who can bring evidence.
Stand behind
I
the
can't do
camera.
that. You get me? I'm just here saying
I'll
why you
talk to
guys.
you later, but you have to stand
why
behind the
guys bringing
camera.
up a false narrative that's causing attacks on Islam. It's like the ISIS and the Al Qaeda people you're talking about. They're putting a false narrative that non-Muslims are enemies, and it's wrong. So people like you doing false narrative of Islam, you shouldn't do it, guys. You shouldn't do it.
It's not just me though. It's what the Islamic
Yeah, but
scholars
because,
have done.
because it's not just you, does it give you reason to do it?
Salafi, which means like someone who believes strictly that the first three generations of Islam are the best source to find out about Islam from. That's the core belief of the Salafi who just drags him away. Salafis tends to take Islam primarily from a number of scholars. They take Islam from Ibn Taymiyyah, from Ahmad ibn Hanbal, from Abdul Wahhab. Yeah, and these people believe in offensive jihad, like I just mentioned.
Can you meet me here next week? I'll come back with some evidence and we'll have this conversation again.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I'm not here.
Do you have an email? I can email.
I'm on Hangouts. I see you all the time, man.
Oh, what's your name on Hangouts?
Voicing the people. That's me.
Voicing the people.
Yeah, I see you on a lot of channels.
Okay. Are you on like
It was
Safaz's
shush.
channel?
It was shush stop crying if I changed it because no one can find my channel.
Okay.
But people need to shush and stop crying, fam. They really do.
Okay, I'll try. Search the people. Was it?
Voicing the people.
Voicing the people.
Right here, Sam, can I just ask a question for the camera? Did I just rudely interrupt then? Because sometimes I might.
Kind of, in a way.
Wait, let me ask James, because you said that my point was misconstrued or it wasn't on topic.
No, it's fine.
Did I jump in on
No, you're fine.
Because I took on the board what you were asking James about now, where is the Islamic State?
I know, but
now?
what you should have done is listen to what he brought
Right,
it
so I'm
up
asking
first.
now, was
No, it's
my
fine, it's fine. You, like,
No,
you
you're
should be
fine.
involved
No,
in this
you're- no, you're-
conversation.
Am I
It's
fine
fine.
or not? Because
So
to
the
my
only
mind-
What is- what is-
he's not an ISIS supporter, so we aren't going to say he's definitely not. But otherwise, no. I think
I'm a
it's fine.
Muslim, and Muslims don't wage war on no one for no reason. I'll say it a million
That's
times,
not
bro.
being true.
It is true, man.
Because I
It's not
heard-
vague. It's not vague,
All I
Kazi.
did
It's
for
not
the
vague,
camera,
man.
I
Black
heard-
man, you should know
I
better
heard-
than this, Kaz, man.
Listen,
Don't fall
can
for
I
these
say-
people,
can I
man.
say something?
Don't fall for these people, man. Come on,
I
man.
heard what you said and I took on board knowing that ISIS
James,
could
you're
regroup any
donkey.
time. And the reason I
James,
say
you
that
donkey.
is because there is a figure that comes out which
You are a
says
donkey, low
that
IQ
80% of the
donkey,
people
James.
that want to attack
You
the
are a
UK
low
are
IQ
British
donkey,
born.
James.
And they
We'll
come
talk
from
about it.
internally.
You don't know
So
anything
they can
about
be
your own
recruited
atheist
anytime.
religion. You're so dumb. You don't even know where your law came from. You have no morality,
Right,
James.
yeah, possibly.
You eat cats and dogs like you was in China.
Right, yeah. Unless they're being attacked.
Is it okay to eat
Unless
cats
they
and
feel
dogs?
like being attacked.
Is it okay to
Yeah.
eat
So
cats
if
and
there's a
dogs?
reason for them to go
I think
protect
cats and
their
dogs are the
civilization
allies
or
of
something,
humans. And so,
then
no,
that's
I
what
think
the
You
they
Quran
don't
does
have no
say.
morality, James.
But going
You
back
don't have
into
no
the time when
morality,
they
James.
first went to Syria,
If you
apparently
don't have no
they were
morality,
being attacked
James,
in their homes by the
that means you can
pagans,
eat cats
so
and
they
dogs.
fought back, and they're saying that's what the Surahs were written for. But the fact is they still follow the Quran today, and when necessary they go back to use those particular Surahs
Come on, man.
to get
We're
the
standing
people
by
to
you.
fight.
If someone
Not because they're saying they're hopefully targeted, but they're saying originally that's what the Quran meant.
No one's saying that.
I think
So they still use the verses, but they say that well, it only appealed to them. So okay, explain why you're using those verses now to recruit jihadists.
Big up. Yeah.
Exactly. Suzelle. I'm not Kate. I'm Sue. Suzelle. Yeah. It's alright. Kate's enough of one. If I have
After
Kate.
your name, what
Yeah,
time
Suzelle.
He says at all times to fight back.
yes, it's fine. I appreciate your questions. So all good. Yeah.
why do you usually come to speak as well? What's your mission?
My mission is I want to help convince Muslims that Islam is untrue, and I don't want, for example, certain Islamic beliefs and values to negatively affect the UK. Like, for example, I want free speech to remain preserved in the UK. I don't want there to be a blasphemy law. I don't want for it to be illegal to slander or defame Muhammad. And in lots of Muslim countries that is illegal. And so I want to prevent that from happening. And I think, trying to show Muslims that Islam is not true and showing some of the questionable teachings in Islam is a good way to do it. You're welcome. Yeah.
Nice one, James.
Yeah. See you later. Take care.